the hundreds, racks after bands. Been throwing strips, spinning the dry bodies in the streets. Working on the mind, fiending on the frenzy. Sharks stay swimming, blood underwater. Two-handed bands, flooded with the strips. Laying in the slums, thumbing through funds. Work on the stove, murking been a sport. Murders in the flesh, rack after rack. Blood on the strips, blood underwater. Fiending more murders. Been on the road to riches, riding till we die. Shining in the throne, glowing in the zone. Blood in the air, bodies in the streets. Murking on the mind, swimming in the dub. Murder been a sport, blood on the money. Whipping all the honey, work on the stove. Working on the mind, fiending on the frenzy. Blood on the strips, two-handed bands. Thumbing through funds, sin in the slums. Blood on the bands, murders after murders. Dashing with the safe, sliding down strips. Been throwing bands, spinning the dry. Blood underwater, swimming in the dub. Sin in the slums, been murdered the enemy. Sliding down bands in the zone. Murders in the flesh, bodies in the streets. Hunters too neat, two-handed strips. Thicker than a bitch. Blood on the bands, ballin' on a pivot. Spring loading digits, no hiccups. Been murders after murders. Mission on a mission, been on the road to riches. Thumbing through bands, whole lot of dope. Been murders in the flesh, bodies in the streets. Blood on the money, whipping all the honey. Work on the stove, hotter than a burner. Falling through the floor, been dashing with the safe. Smell murders in the air, blood in the water. Sharks stay swimming, got that cash flow in the zone. Touchdown, wax points been up. Spreading all the bands, pockets been busting. Blood on the strips, whipping all the honey. Chasing that Miller Hill full of riches. Murking on the mind, feeding on the friends. Been murdered the enemy, dashing with the safe. Thumbing through funds in the slums. Blood on the money, been swerving all the hoes on the road to riches. All the blood on the rack, sliding down bands, laying in the drop. Swag been rags, been popping ops, no tags. All the bodies in the graves, blood on the money. Work on the stove, thumbing through hundreds, laying in the slums. Blood on the strips, two-handed bands, rack after rack. Murking on the mind, feeding on the frenzy. Murder been a sport, flooding with the word. Coming through bands, laying in the slums. Heads on the wall, flooded with the strips. Been on the road to riches, swerving all the bitches. Two-handed hundreds, riding till we die. Shining in the throne, glowing in the zone. Blood on the hundreds, murders in the flesh. Murking been a sport, been murdered the enemy. Throwing bands, spinning in the dry. Been fiending more murders. Been on the road to riches, riding till we die. Shining in the throne, glowing in the zone. Blood in the air, bodies in the streets. Murking on the mind, swimming in the dub. Murder been a sport, blood on the money. Whipping all the honey, work on the stove. Murking on the mind, fiending on the frenzy. Blood on the strips, two-handed bands. Thumbing through funds, sin in the slums. Blood on the bands, murders after murders. Dashing with the safe. Blood on the rack strips, two thick pockets. Been oozing all the proof thicker than glue. This been life throwing bands in the dry. Swimming in the dub, sitting in the slums. Thumbing through funds, work on the stove. Flooded with the poles, two-handed bands. Sliding down strips, grip on the hundreds. Blood underwater, sharks stay swimming. Murder been a sport, murking on the mind, fiending on the frenzy. Blood on the hundreds, murders after murders. Blood on the money, thumbing through bands. Laying in the slums, bodies in the streets. Sliding down strips, rack after rack. Whole lot of dough, work on the stove. Blood on the money, whipping all the honey. Murking been a sport, hill full of riches. Been on the road to riches, swerving all the bitches. Throwing bands in the dry, spinning then turning burgundy. Been flooded with the work, thumbing through strips. Got that cash flow in the zone. Shining in the throne, ops in the graves. Dashing with the safe. Blood on the hundreds, thumbing through bands. Laying in the slums, murders in the streets. Been murdered the enemy, throwing bands. Spinning in the dry, then turning burgundy. Burners been passed around more than a hoe. Got that cash flow, grinding blood on the money. Whipping all the honey, work on the stove. Been on the road to riches, swerving all the bitches. Sliding down strips, been mission after mission. Murking on the mind, fiending on the frenzy. Murder been a sport, laying in the drop. Been popping ops, hit after hit. Bodies in the streets, murders in the flesh. Work on the stove, sitting in the slums. Two-handed bands, stacks thicker than a bitch. Flooded with the strips, throwing bands in the dry. Spreading all the hunters, been bundling blood all on the wrecks. Murders on murders, murking on the mind, fiending on the frenzy. Whipping all the honey fast in the flash. Dashing with the safe, heavier than an anvil.